Hey there, it's Pete C for Sample Library Review, and today I'm checking out Ample China Erhu by Ample Sound. Ample Sound have expanded their brilliant Chinese instrument range with the Ample China Erhu, contemplating the moon instrument. This two-string Chinese bowed instrument has been created by sampling 3 erhus in different tunings with 5 microphone positions. Coupled with a huge range of articulations and onboard controls, this is the most detailed erhu instrument ever created. With all of this in mind, the proof is in the sound and the playability, and the Ample China Erhu delivers this in spades. The Ample China Erhu downloads at 7.6 gigabytes and features 3 sampled erhu instruments. There are 4 articulation sets which contain a total of 30 articulations, and there is also an intelligent legato mode. The Ample Sound Erhu uses Ample Sound's own plugin, which also requires iLock, and normally it sells for $169 and is currently on sale at $127. Here we have the Ample China Erhu, and out the box it sounds absolutely stunning. As ever, to get to know the instrument and the plugin, I have created a demo using the Ample China Erhu as the centerpiece. Now, I've been lucky enough to have the Ample China Zheng instrument as well, so I've been using that to create the basis of the composition, and then using a combination of the erhu phrases and then a playable section where I didn't use any of the articulations, just the sustain and the legato, and then the final section throws in some of the articulations. And I did also add some percussion from other libraries, and I've sort of created this in a bit more of like a cinematic feel and sort of a little bit more westernized in terms of the harmonic content. But I'm sure you'll agree, these instruments sound absolutely sublime. I'm sure you agree from the demo, everything sounds absolutely pristine, very, very cleanly sampled and very, very deep. But I've got to say, it is so playable, this instrument. And the first thing that jumps out at me when I loaded this up was the GUI is absolutely stunning. It's really easy to follow. So you got your erhu at the top. Now every time you hover over anything, you get these sort of yellow bubbles. No matter where you are, it will tell you sort of what you're doing or what it's for. If I don't move my mouse, there we go. So really, really cool GUI because it just tells you exactly what you're doing. Now, in the middle, you've got your articulations. These are color coded. So you can see, if I click these different colored key switches, we get the articulations, which is cool. So, sustain. And you can hear there's a variety of different legatos going on, which I will talk about later. Now, if I want to play the staccato, I need to, once I've selected it, just keep, almost like playing like a legato, so the notes overlap to keep the articulation going. So you can hear that staccato. Then we've got ricochet and pizzicato, whispering, and then we have sighing, crying, and then hoarse, portato, and then we have diminuendo. Whoops. Do that again. Sforzando. Expressive. And then we have vibrato. And trill. Mordant. Inverted mordant. Double mordant. Full slide. And then full slide down. I did not trigger that properly. Slide in below. Slide in above. Let's try that again. There we go. And portamento. Doesn't go that far. Yeah, so it has got a range. And virtual portamento. And then we've got licks. So I did use some of these in the demo. That was a bit loud, that one. So these licks, you can adjust the key so they fit your project, which is really, really useful. And then you got the mirroring. So playing the key switch when a note is sounding will reverse a sample at current position. Yeah, so I love the keys down below. If I just go back down to the sustain. And apart from the fact they remind me of a Rolly, all the different articulation groups. So you can see, so the first group is the head group, and then we have the body group, and then there should be legato group, and there are some effects as well, I believe. So yeah, we've got different effects, and yeah, looks really, really cool. So you know what you're doing, and if you're an absolute whiz, you can just play key switches while you're playing. I prefer to program those in the MIDI afterwards, but again, absolutely fantastic. Now, the mod wheel controls the vibrato amount. And of course the pitch bend. To the pitch bend. What you'll notice is that the samples cut off. And they cut off at their natural point. And you have that release sound as well. But let's say you want it to go on forever. So we've got these little controls over here. Down here, you've got sample loop. If you turn this on, it will just loop. And that will go on forever. You could go off, have a bite, come back, and it'll still be. It will still be playing. So it's a really useful feature. And I did find myself using that in the demo just for one sustain note. Then we've got the playing mode. You can have monophonic mode or polyphonic. So if we go polyphonic, you can hold down more than one instrument, sorry, one note at a time. So if you're doing some of the shorts, could be very, very useful for that. But of course, if you just want to make like a ensemble of erhus, you can. Go back to monophonic. And then we have fingering position mode. So A string mode. Or we can have just the D string. Or you can have both. Then we have the legato mode. And you can hear depending on the velocity, you'll have different legato. So if I do soft legato, and then we can have expressive. Then we've got straight legato, so I'll play a little bit harder. and then we got mordant legato at the top end. Quite difficult for me to get, so that's something I'd program. But yeah, so it's really intelligent, and you can just be incredibly expressive. So there we go. Articulations, fantastic. Lots you can do with that. And when you start exploring the phrases, it's really, really cool. So articulations, and we've got a couple of controls. Then we've got our microphones as well. So you have the mid-low and the mid-high, front mic solo, back mic solo, and far. Sorry, I keep saying solo. It's just back mic and front mic. So you can solo these, you can mute these, and you can obviously EQ just by clicking on them, which is absolutely awesome for adjustability. And then there's some different sort of mic configurations. Sort of placement configurations. And they obviously they make a difference. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned at the top, you've got different presets. So when you install the plugin, these will install in your documents folder. So I'm on Windows, so I'm sure it's the same for Mac. So if I go for ambience, so that's really, really cool. I'm not sure what's country, but there we go. Then if we go for the bright erhu, sounds cool. And the one I used in the demo was Memories of an Old Friend. Very cinematic. I do really like Moonlit Night as well. So you can play around with those, and yeah, they just sound brilliant. And from what I can see from every Ample Sound instrument, they have these different sort of presets, as it were. So if I was to go back to default, so working with that. The next part, just these last few controls, you've got the pan, left and right, and we've got different expression. So essentially your volume, which is tied obviously to an expression pedal if you use one, which is very, very useful. And then we have on the pedal, you can have this double legato mode, which I haven't really tried yet. So let's give it a go. Yeah, it does sound Awesome. And that is the sort of front page of the GUI. There is, depending where you're playing, there is this sort of position marker. And I've noticed there's position fours as well. So playing the key switch in position mode, then play one note between this two range, will set the position 0 to 14. So you can change the position. And then the green, almost like effects. Again, that's quite loud, that one. Yeah. I have actually put a limiter on just in case, and that was a little bit loud. So yeah, but in my DAW, just worthy of note, I'm playing at 0 dB, and I have probably got a slight boost on my capture. So yeah, there we go. Now we've got these 4 different sort of panels. So this is the keyboard. If we go onto it looks like a mixer, but it's actually where your compressor, equalizer, echo, and reverb is. And all of these, again, loads and loads of control, and they all have different presets as well. So really, really clever. So you can adjust that. If I just change some of the reverb, let's go large hall delay. Let's go big. Yep, sounds brilliant. And let's just contrast that with a small hall bright. So that's simple. And then again, this is the echo, so you can adjust the placement. Play around with that. And then EQ, really, really useful. Obviously, we'll have our third-party EQ plugins we like, but this is built in. So it doesn't take any more valuable resources. Just play around the EQ as you see fit, and that's great. And again, you've got presets for all of that. So yeah, very cool. And same with the compressor as well. So you can play around with that as well. Then the next one is the settings. So you can install the library onto an external hard drive, and the plugin stays on your, in my case, C drives on Windows, but wherever you put your .dll files. You can adjust the tuning as well. So if you are doing more traditional music, which might have micro tuning, you can change that. Max voices, you can see the memory footprint, just over 2 gigabytes. Again, you can adjust that if you want to have lower voices, for example. That'll bring that down. Bend range, it's set to 2, and then there's auto modulation, which is very, very cool. And then you've got different looks like MIDI settings, sample cycle. You can set that to round robin or separate. I did do the demo in separate or mix it all up, which is very, very cool. A couple of sort of GUI options. I would leave the tooltips on. I think they're fantastic. And then I did say it's an iLock library, and these are the wonderful people who've created this. So that's our settings. And then the last one are the standard articulations. You can, again, adjust those as you see fit. So the micro tuning capability is really, really useful. It's going to close that though, because I don't want to play around with it. And there we go. That is the Ample China Erhu. And while the review focuses on the Erhu, I just want to give a big shout out to Ample Sound, because they did send me the Zheng, the purple cloud, And I just wanted to have a quick sort of whiz through that because I use it a lot in the demo. Now, again, GUI, all very similar. Main picture of the instrument, all different articulations. I'm not going to play through everything just like so, but there are some really, really cool features. It is, it's got 3 modes. So you've got the keyboard mode. And the reason I love that is if you're doing sort of more cinematic music and you don't want to play just in pentatonic tuning, which is how the Zheng is tuned. So if I go into the instrument mode, it's all C. And it sounds just superb. It's actually on the glissando setting. I'm just going to go to the standard sustains. And again, the mod wheel does all the vibrato. And all the articulations work in exactly the same way. But the fact you have the instrument mode and then you got the glissando mode. So if you do that and play it like a fingered sort of keyboard instrument, it doesn't work. But you choose your first start note. And then your second note. And depending how quickly you play those together, you get a glissando. So, yeah. And then you can go backwards as well. Really, really cool. Just a really, really gorgeous instrument. And I've got to admit, I've been just playing this loads. Probably should take that off glissando mode. So in an age when we're spoilt for sort of different instruments, and I've, like I say, made lots of sort of different world music, I've got to admit these have completely sort of blown me away in terms of quality and sounds. So yeah, absolutely superb Ample sound. So my final thoughts on the Ample China Erhu. First of all, for me, it's a great introduction to the Ample Sound plugins. I love the GUI, I love the pop-ups which tell you what you're doing, but more than anything, I love the sound of these instruments. The Erhu is just so clean and deep and detailed and full of articulations. It's just a joy to play. You can make it sound great straight out the box, but you have all of this tweakability. You've got all the different modules for compressor, EQ, reverb, echo. You've got, again, all the articulations, and having the phrases where you can just hold down a note and put them in the key of your project and play is brilliant. But equally, with some MIDI programming, or if you're, like say, a whiz with key switches, you can just create endless flowing melodies and tweak them to your heart's content. So I'm just so impressed If you want to go to one of the presets just to get an instant sort of ballpark of what you're after, you can just go straight there. That's exactly what I did, and I got the sound I was looking for straight away. Very, very cinematic. And again, you have on the one hand complete traditional playing and sounding, but the way the instruments are developed, you can have a more of a Western cinematic edge. And if you're one of those composers who combines the two, so I love writing orchestral works with sort of Asian influence, it is absolutely perfect. But really, I have to say it, I've used a lot of different instruments and made quite a few albums in sort of these genres, and these really are the best. All that leaves me to say is thank you so much for checking out this review of the Ample China Erhu from Ample Sound. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave us a comment. Maybe you would like us to cover more of the Chinese range from Ample Sound. Please drop a like on the video and then subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos on YouTube. Then once you've done that, head over to samplereview.com to check out everything that's going on in the world of virtual instruments. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a great day and keep on making music.